We do have some recruiting updates. Mizzou got 2 commits, the 2026 class. It's not perfect, but it's starting to come in. Consensus 4-star wide receiver Jibari Brady commits to the University of Missouri out of Florida. He picks Missouri over Nebraska. This is somebody we've talked about last week. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Michigan, Alabama, Florida, North Carolina. Jacob Peeler had targeted him for a long time. He's 6'2", 205 pounds, so he's a bigger receiver. Last season, let me look at my notes. I want to make sure I give proper numbers. 23 catches, 485 yards, and 7 touchdowns, 21.1 yards or 21 yards a catch. So he is a big he's a big target, and he's a big play target. You have to be excited. If you're a Missouri fan, to bring in another receiver, Jacob Peeler. He's not Brian Hartline. No one's going to say he's Brian Hartline, but he does a really nice job of recruiting and developing wide receivers. So add another one to the list. We'll see how it plays out. They got 3 wide receivers this year that will need some snaps. They've got James Madison in the class ahead of him. So we'll see, but it is exciting that we actually have news. And the 4th commit committed today. Come on, load. Isaac Jensen, a tight end, has committed to the Missouri Tigers. It's about 4 hours ago. He recruited his weekend official. He was there over the weekend. 3-star, bet on Mizzou's campus. He had taken an official visit to Iowa State, had one scheduled to Florida State, Texas A&M. Apparently Nebraska, Auburn, Illinois, LSU. There's some it's a 3-star tight end. These guys were involved. He was, but he committed to Missouri. He's from Nebraska. Another kid you got from Nebraska. He's the 4th commit in the class. You have to be excited about that. We'll see what happens moving forward with this 2026 class. But it's good that they finally are starting to bring in more people. There is another big weekend of official visits. Expected visitors include Ashari Charles, another Florida kid from Bennett, 4-star defensive end. Terry Hodges, a 4-star. He's an athlete. I believe he's marked more to play corner, but he's 6 foot, 165 pounds. So yeah, you're probably looking at corner. Needs to bulk up, but he's huge. He's a freak athlete. Jacob Eberhardt, he's another athlete he's a little bit bigger, maybe more of like a safety. Brandon Anderson, an interior offensive lineman. Keenan Harris is coming back. He's already committed. Jaden McGregory, a athlete from Des Moines. Piano, Texas is Bradley Brown, and Isaac Jensen, who's going to commit. This was this past weekend. Excuse me, I misspoke. It is Monday. This was this past weekend, not this weekend. I knew that. I had that on my notes. I just misspoke. That happens because obviously Jensen was on the list. He committed. Where was I? Where I egregiously messed up. So Ashari Charles is the highest rated recruit. He's a 4-star. He visited Florida, Louisville, Kentucky, Florida State. By all accounts, he's probably going to end up staying in the Sunshine State, staying in Florida. But he'd be a big pickup. Ryan Estrada, last week's kind of Mizzou's main running back target, but Terry Hodges and Maxwell Warner are 2 guys that they're also taking a look at. It's weird because Mizzou has been racking up so many 4-stars over the last few years that in basketball too, where I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. Getting a 4-star is kind of ho-hum, but this year has been a little weird. We'll see what happens as the season progresses, as we get closer to signing day. But I am not expecting a whole lot of fireworks over the next couple of weeks. No outlet I read is expecting fireworks. So is what it is, man. I'm excited for recruiting's fun. And I've said this a million times. High school recruiting is going to when teams are kind of figuring out what to spend money on, we are figuring out what, like you should pay to keep your offensive lineman, pay to keep your defensive lineman. Does that backup safety really need that extra $300K? Probably not. All right, let him go to the portal. It's like any professional sport, man. Like that running back doesn't need is that running back that's asking for an extra $2 million on his contract? Fine. You know, that backup point guard that needs, or that backup forward or whatever in basketball that needs an extra $5 million because he had a couple 20-point playoff games. So yeah, like it's just as teams figure out in this world where we're gonna have more money flood the sport and more money for players, which is a good thing. It's just still not regulated as well as it needs to be. We'll see what happens. But I am excited. I do like following recruiting. It's fun. It's just not as fun this year because there's not the Ryan Wingos and the Niwaniris and all the other guys that Mizzou seems to have been really recruiting.